Well, good morning and happy Thursday. We are back in the book of Hebrews, the 4th chapter. The big theme is rest. A secondary theme today is fear. So Hebrews has been about Jesus. Chapter 1, he's better than the prophets. Chapter 2, better than the angels. Chapter 3, better than Moses. Chapter 4, which we just started, was noting, it was sort of a positive affirmation of the fact that we ought to run hard after God to move forward. So let me just read Hebrews chapter 4, verse 1 to you. Therefore, okay, so by the way, this is the third chapter in which the writer is starting the chapter with a conclusion. So it's sort of a weird place to start a new chapter because it's a conclusion to the previous argument, but oh well. Again, the chapter and verse markings are not inspired, done by a guy on horseback, and occasionally the horse stumbled and we get bad marks. So therefore, let us fear lest while a promise remains of entering his rest, any one of you should seem to have come short of it. So let me just be sure you heard that. Therefore, let us fear lest entering his rest, any one of you should seem to have come short of it. You think that I'm saying is let us not fear. But I'm saying, actually, I'm just reading the text. The text instructs us to be fearful. So let me note there's a lot of fear out there, always has been. Jesus' most frequent greeting to his friends was fear not. So there's a lot of anxiety today because of COVID and economic and political, social instability. There's a lot of fear out there. And FDR said the only thing we, excuse me, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. That's a wonderful statement, but it's nonsense. What we're being told here is something different. Now, let me just note, yesterday I said 3 kinds of rest. The first rest is physical rest, which the Jews didn't get a lot of because they were slaves, and then they were in the desert, and then they were trying to take over the promised land. And then the second kind of rest is a spiritual rest. It's a relaxing, it's a restorative rest. So the third kind of rest sort of builds on those two, but it leverages the creative order, Genesis 2 and other things that talk about God creating and resting and establishing rest as a pattern, and it all points towards the Sabbath, which, I'm sorry, I apologize, forgive me, I don't speak on very much at Christ Church because it's a real challenge area for me. And I try not to say too much about things that I'm not doing, and I am doing much better in the last few years than I had done earlier. But that's because I finally came in my heart to believe that the question was, is it better to rely on the promises of God or to do the work? Like to try and keep things going. Because there's always stuff to be done, always people to attend to, always emails to answer, always talks to prepare. And so it can feel nonstop, and many of you know that. And I just want to say God offers a much deeper restorative rest. And we get rest nightly. We see that in the creative order. There's day and there's night. We get to sleep. We get rest weekly with the Sabbath. That's the word 7, so every 7th day. There's other development of the whole idea of restorative rest. I want to say that, and then I want to pick up on this word fear. So, therefore, let us fear, lest while a promise remains of entering his rest, any one of you should seem to have come short of it. So, what we should fear is God. Let us order our fears. So Augustine is the one that talked about the need to order our loves. And we need to order our fears, and we need to fear God first. And it's not shaking your boots kind of fear. We don't have to fear the anger of God. The anger of God is not like us. You know, the anger of people doesn't lead to the righteousness of God. God is very different than us. We don't have to worry that he's going to blow his top like we may do with kids. But we are expected to fear God, because when we fear God, when we focus on him, then a lot of things line up. So let me just say, if you're at Christ Church, you're going to get an email in a couple hours announcing that I just tested positive for COVID. You see me coughing. When we were in Atlanta, we went to a party for Sherry's mom's birthday, and it wasn't a huge party, 25 people, but one of the people there that I sat next to at dinner called yesterday and said that he had COVID, and I started to get symptomatic So I immediately quarantined and then started to get symptomatic last night, and I just tested positive with one of those quick tests. So I'm quarantining, and we've got protocol in place. We're going to do this right. I'm out for the Sherry and I are out for the next extended period, whatever the doctors say. And I've a few symptoms, not bad. I intend to sort of keep reading and resting, hopefully. But I want to say, I don't go into this with a lot of fear, and I want to be very public and share what's going on. I mean, I see these opportunities. We're a family. We're not a corporation. We're a family, and I want to just share what's going on in my life, because I really am always frustrated that people don't share what's going on in their life. So this is I don't have my game face on. I have a weakness face on. But I trust God, and I believe that God is for me. And so whatever happens, and 98.6% chance that I'm just sort of cycle through this very quickly. Look, eternity changes everything. And so this is the message here in Hebrews 4. Don't, fear the right things. Live in light of the things that are going to matter. Focus on God and let the love of God and an understanding of God shape how you live today. Have a great day.